Again, thanks everybody for being here today. And at this point in time, I'd like to introduce a couple of people who are here with us today. And first off, I want to introduce from our Business Service Division, we have Ray Pascarella, Jason Zimmerman, who are here as my counterparts from our Business Services Division. I have some of my store managers that have come from the stores around that I'd like to introduce and thank them for really being here to help support us in Office Depot. First off, Brian Stoker, who's just running out the front door, who's our store manager here in Fredericksburg. I also have Todd Davis, who's a store manager for us in Richmond. I have Sam Ireland from Charlottesville, Ben Stansel, who's up from Virginia Beach. And also I have Mark Benya from Richmond, and one of my corporate partners is Bobby Sills, who's our regional development manager. So I want to appreciate and thank them all for being here today. I'm also pleased to introduce our regional vice president, who's here from Atlanta today, Timothy Golly. Timothy, thanks for being with us. And now it's my pleasure, who puts on this event and is a great partner for us. I'd like to introduce Mary Wong, who's the head of our Office Depot Foundation. Mary, it's all yours. Thanks for being with us today.
Good afternoon, and I want to thank you all for being so patient. Before we start, could you all please give my colleagues a big round of applause? It takes a lot to put this event on. And gathering everybody together and making it flow the way it does, and I couldn't do it without their help, and I want to thank them again. I come from Florida, and we walk in and it's just kind of ready for us, and thank you so much for doing all the work on this. The Office Depot Foundation is the independent arm. Yeah, this is Tony Stewart. He's right here, so everybody I don't act like you're paying attention to me, but he's right there. So, Office Depot Foundation is the independent arm of the Office Depot Corporation, but we are independent, and we do our own events. And the National Backpack Program is our signature giving program that we do across the country, and it's really to support children to be successful both in their school and in life. And it is the one thing that we're extremely very, very proud of, and the accomplishments that we've been able to do. We not only do this across the United States, but it's become an international program now. I am delighted today to tell you that we are very proud to be able to tell you that we are donating over 4,000 backpacks here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Just a few facts about the backpack program that you might not know. This is a program that started in 2001, and since 2001 we have donated over 2.9 million backpacks. It is one of the only programs in the United States that is still consistent and says that it is a 12-year consistent program. It represents that this year, quite frankly, an economy that's a little tough, where a lot of companies are saying they'd like to give, or they would give, but they can't. Office Depot said, you know what, instead of giving 350,000 backpacks, we're going to give you 400,000 backpacks this year. And so we're donating 400,000 backpacks across the world in 2012. And we're extremely proud of that endeavor. And we're doing that in a joint effort with Office Depot. It helps 2.9 million children. I thought it'd be helpful to tend to say, when you say 400,000 backpacks, it sounds like a lot, but we thought that maybe it'd be helpful if we put it in context. So my friend Leon, who you all get emails from, stays up at night and has nothing better to do than calculate. So he put together, if you were to take these and put 400,000 backpacks and you were to weigh them, they would weigh as much as 14 African elephants. If you were to lay them end to end, they would go around the Richmond International Raceway speed track 138 times. If you stack them on top of each other, they'd be 11 Washington monuments. And if you were to put 400,000 kids in all 400,000 kids with the sack pack, they'd fill up 8,000 school buses. That's a lot of sack packs. I think most importantly, what we'd like to say here is thank you. This is not something that we do by ourselves. We do this with you. Office Depot Foundation is collaborating with you to make our community stronger. And we could not do this without all of your help and what you do in the community. So we thank you for all your efforts in making the community stronger, but more importantly, we understand that we cannot have a healthy business without a healthy community, and so for that, we thank you very, very much. So without further ado, we'd like to hand out these backpacks. So, go ahead.
Thank you, Mary. You know, I got to tell you, Mary has such a passion for the Office Depot Foundation and for helping the community, and really spearheads this over the last 12 years to really give away these backpacks. So it could not be done without Mary's efforts. So Mary, thank you very much for that. So at this time, it's my pleasure. I get the pleasure of introducing Tony Stewart. So as you know, he is a 3-time Spring Cup champion and the reigning Spring Cup champion. Getting ready to roll into the chase one more time, this evening here one more time. So folks, Tony Stewart.
Thank you, guys. It's just a huge honor for me. It's been a lot of fun working with Office Depot, obviously the last 4 years, and especially this lady who has done so much for so many, and really 24 hours a day, this is what she's dedicated to, is this foundation and helping these kids. So it's been a great honor for me to be a part of this program and to work side by side with Mary and be able to give back to the communities. And it's just like Mary said, Office Depot is just as committed to giving back to the communities as they are their business. So it's awesome to be a part of a program where you have a company that cares so much about giving back and not just taking. So it's awesome to be here. It's awesome to give out 4,000 sack packs today, and I don't know how many I've been able to be a part of giving away in the last 4 years, but like you said, 400,000 this year and 2.9 million over 12 years is a pretty impressive number. There's a lot of companies that aren't that dedicated to giving back, and it makes me really proud, and all of us at Stewart House Racing, we're very, very proud to be a part of this program. So it's a fun day for us too. I enjoy doing this. You just have to watch your kids, because Mary has been known to try to take a little kid and take her out of the store because she loves these kids so much. So watch your kids at the end of the event. So if you can't find them, most likely Mary has it. And she's tried to take me before. I'm the biggest kid she's tried to take. She realized she can't handle me. But anyway, like I said, Mary is definitely the driving force behind today, and for sure.
Paints a pretty picture, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I still made you cry. I always make her cry, not on purpose, but I always make her cry. But no, this is, like I said, this is a big day. It's very important for all of us to give back to our communities, and the Office Depot and the Office Depot Foundation are great role models for myself and everybody, that we can all do our part to give back and help give these kids the jump start to their school year that they need. So we're proud to be here today with you guys.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it a lot. So now we'd like to go ahead and present the backpacks to the organizations that we have here today. So as we call out your name, we'd like you to come up. If you'd like to say a couple of words, by all means, have at it. But we'd like you to bring your whole group that you brought with you, stay for a picture with Mary and Tony and the rest of the team. And then at the end, we're going to take a group picture all together at one time. So after you're done the first time, we're going to ask you to come up one more time, okay? So at this time, I certainly want to have Mary and Tony help us with the distribution of the backpacks, but I'd also like to bring up Jason Zimmerman and Ray Pasquarello, who are our BSD team. And Timothy, you're not hiding in the back. You can come join us as well. So our first organization today is Jonathan Russ, who is the Director of Human Resources for Fredericksburg City Schools. Very pleased to support the Frederick City Schools, and welcome, Jonathan. Say anything?
I'll set the precedent for everyone who's coming after me, and I know some of them didn't want us to speak, but I want to thank Home Depot. I want to thank Tony Stewart for taking time out of your day. I know you have a busy schedule ahead of you. But on behalf of Fredericksburg City Public Schools, our teachers and our students do thank you very much. And I'm sure we have some Fredericksburg City Schools teachers and students in the audience. But thank you very much, and they will be put to great use.
So if you want to come up and have your picture taken, we would certainly invite you guys from the Fredericksburg City Schools.
Here, guys. Right in the middle. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. The next school system we'd like to introduce, again, I'm Jason Zimmerman, by the way, is Spotsylvania County School Systems. Spotsylvania County School Systems and Office Depot have been a 6-year partner. We've had a great relationship. We've helped them reduce cost in many different ways. So we are very excited to have Rene Daniels here with us today.
Thank you. Office Depot, we are very pleased to accept these sackpacks today on behalf of the students of Spotsylvania County Schools. They will definitely go to good use, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Our next donation today is to Valerie Cottongim from the Office of Public Information. Got to flip the page. And Quentin Sullivan, Supervisor of Facilities Planning, Design, and Construction.
On behalf of Stafford County Schools, I want to say thank you to Office Depot and Office Depot Foundation. It's through businesses like this one that makes the Fredericksburg region such a strong place to raise our families. So thank you.
One more? Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next donation is to the King George County Schools. We are pleased to introduce Elizabeth Gordon, Coordinator of Testing and Instructional Support.
I just want to say on behalf of King George County Schools that we really appreciate Office Depot, and go Tony Saturday night. I'm cheering for you.
Okay, our next donation is to the Open Arms Community Development Center, a Richmond-based nonprofit organization whose services include food pantries, job and life skills training for youth in foster care, a resource center, a clothes closet, parenting classes, and after-school care. Please welcome Monica Lucas, our Community Events Coordinator. Welcome, Monica.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Monica Lucas, event coordinator from Open Arms CDC in Richmond, Virginia, and we're just really happy to be here. We actually just had an event last weekend where we were fortunate to give away about 200 of these backpacks back to children who were returning to school. And we're really excited because this is our 3rd year partnering with Office Depot and Tony Stewart, and so we're really, really excited. And we thank you for the opportunity, and go Tony on Saturday.
At this point in time, I'd like to recognize a couple of our government officials who are here. We really want to thank them for the support that we have here in the Fredericksburg area. First, I'm really honored to welcome our Virginia State Senator, Bryce Reeves. Thank you for coming. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you all for the opportunity to serve you in Richmond. And, you know, I just can't impress upon you enough how important it is to have great companies like Office Depot do what they do. You know, to a lot of us, a backpack is maybe not a big thing, but there are so many families that are struggling today that backpack is their pathway to prosperity. And that education that backpack is going to help enable that child to accomplish is going to do great things. And I just want to say thank you to Office Depot for what you guys do. Thank you, Tony, for being the face of this great charity. I mean, it's just outstanding. And thank you all again for the opportunity to serve.
We also have here representing the city of Fredericksburg, we have Vice Mayor Bradford C. Ellis. If you'd like to step up, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. And on behalf of the city of Fredericksburg, thank you very much, Office Depot, for helping our kids. This is mine, helping get the school year off on the right track. I know, as a kid, you ought to be worried about maybe only two things when you're going to school. That's making the grade and having fun, not where your backpack's going to come from or your shoes. So thank you very, very much. And Tony, I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina as a huge NASCAR fan, so it's a pleasure meeting you, sir, and thank you very much.
Okay, here we go. One more. Thank you.
Okay, so back to our donations. Here, continuing with the nonprofit organizations pleased to donate our sack packs to Stafford Junction, a nonprofit organization that serves high-need children, youth, and their families residing in Stafford County. Its mission is to transform lives through faith and action. Please welcome Samira LaHood of the Brian Builder Program, along with several of their kids. Thanks for being with us today. Thanks for coming today. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for being here.
Here you go. One more. Thank you.
Our next donation is for the Rappahannock Area Community Services Board. Operates a number of outstanding programs that serve children and families, including Project Link, Dare to Be You, Second Step, and Too Good for Drugs. Pleased to introduce Glenda Knight, the Project Link Manager, Jim McLean, the Prevention Specialist, and Michelle Wegeman, our Public Information Officer with some of their kids. Thanks for being with us today.
Here you go. One more. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next donation is to the Providemce Service Corporation, the largest provider of community-based services for children and families in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Please welcome today Rebecca Needy, Lead Therapeutic Day Treatment Coordinator for Family Prevention Services Rebecca, thanks for being with us today. Our next donation is to the Hope House, which provides homeless mothers and their children with safe housing and opportunities to transition to successful independent living. We're pleased to have Ann Galliou, our finance manager, here with us today. Welcome, Ann. Our next donation is to the Open Hand of Fredericksburg. This organization helps under-resourced youth and their families in the greater Fredericksburg area to secure sustainable employment through education, leadership development, and long-term committed relationships. Help us join welcoming Juanita Pitchford, City Register.
One more? Thank you.
Our final donation for the day is pleased to recognize the Safe Harbor Children Advocacy Center and its Executive Director, Pamela Garrett. Safe Harbor is a child-friendly, community-oriented, facility-based program in which professionals from the core disciplines come together to assist the victims of child abuse and neglect. The joint effort in a comfortable, child-friendly setting works to reduce trauma and prevent further victimization of children. Welcome, Pamela.
Thank Office Depot Foundation for coming to Fredericksburg and to help us as we meet the needs of the children in our communities. And one of the victims, one of the voices that isn't often heard in our community are the children who are abused. And there are many, many times at Safe Harbor a child will come in and they don't have anything because they've been taken from their home, and we always try to send them with a backpack or with a blanket or with both or snacks. And so I want to thank you all for contributing to the children and for joining our community effort to stop child abuse.
There we go, right here. One more. Thank you.
Well, first of all, we want to congratulate everyone that's received backpacks. We hope that this helps a little bit in helping kids go back to school to be successful in school and have a wonderful school year this year. Tony, before I finish, you want to come here for a second? One good turn deserves another. What does your foundation do?
Children's charities, animal charities, and injured drivers.
I'm not going to do this because I'll start to cry. So, but when I first met Tony, I was going through a really, really rough time, and we had some stuff going on, and I didn't know what smoke was. I thought, I didn't know what NASCAR was. I didn't know who Tony Stewart was. I was like, and they said, "This is Tony Stewart. He wants to meet you." And I was like, "Hi." Anyway, Tony introduced himself, and he was at our office, and he signed a lot of hero cards, and everybody just quickly fell in love with this gentleman, including myself. And anyway, we began our backpack program, and we started doing this, and he came in and started doing all these things with us. And he made a donation with us, and he started working on this program, and I think he loves this program just as much as I love this program. And what we would like to do is we'd like to make a donation to your Tony Stewart Foundation for $10,000. I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me, for all the laughs, for all the tears, for the, and
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
and for just being a wonderful friend that you've been. And I just think all of you should be so lucky to have, I hope that you seek out in your community friends. You never know who will be that friend for you and will be passionate about what you do and what you have. And I hope that you take up every single offer that you have, because your volunteers, your ambassadors, they can all be a Tony Stewart. They can all be with this, because that voice is very, very important. And to have these kind of friends are more than you'll ever know. Thank you for everything you've done. Have a great